Good morning or afternoon or evening, whatever it may be for you and wherever you are. I hope you are finding a warm place to be here in Oklahoma. It is very cold, but the good news is it will warm up. And in Oklahoma, if you don't like the weather, wait a minute. Just last week, I saw a rainbow, and then on Friday, we had an earthquake, and then we got snow on Sunday. And we're having sunshine later in the week. You don't know what it's going to be, but it's kind of exciting because you get a different look every day. And something else that I'm excited about today is January 17th, 2024. It was on this day in 1999 that I had my first service here at First Church of God, Cushing, Oklahoma. 25 years of service here, getting ready to start year 26. And I'm excited about what God has done, what he's doing, and what he's yet to do here in this congregation. He has been so faithful to us over these years. And the other day I was driving, and I had to program my GPS to get to where I was going because I was in a little bit of an unfamiliar territory. And it said, choose a lane and turn left. Choose a lane and turn left. Now, I don't always do what I'm told to do. I don't always follow directions. I do take a little bit of intuition, a little bit of knowledge, and assess the situation before I turn, because it said choose a lane and turn left. I had 3 lanes in front of me. To my right was a lane I could go straight or turn right. In the lane I was in, I could turn left. And the next lane would have been oncoming traffic. You know, you don't always do what you are told. So I had to make that choice and make it correctly. I don't know about you, but sometimes other people tell us which way to go, and that can be a little bit annoying. Now, many people like backseat drivers. There are some drivers who don't need backseat drivers. They need backseat prayer warriors, always checking to see when the light's going to change, and then they can go. We need some people that are backstreet prayer warriors, because if it wasn't for the grace of God, some people couldn't get to their destination. You've probably seen the bumper sticker or the car tag that says, God is my co-pilot. And if God is your co-pilot, switch seats. That's not who you want there. I want God to be my pilot. And too often, I think the one driving our lives is wearing this as a name tag for our life. It's our fears. Fears often dictate where we're going, what we're doing, and what we can believe. And I'm not talking just about fear of spiders and snakes and things like, or monsters under the bed, but those fears that say what we can and cannot do. Those fears that say you're no good, you're not smart enough, you're not well enough, you just can't do anything. And some of those fears are caused by a soundtrack that was stuck into our mind by somebody else. And unfortunately, we've latched onto those, and we started to wear those name tags, and we've allowed them to define us. There are times I go to events and they give me a pre-printed name tag, and there have been mistakes on those pre-printed name tags. Maybe it's misspelled, or maybe it's the wrong name. Or have you ever gone and ordered food and they ask you your name and they type it on the receipt? When you get the receipt, you go under, I wonder who this is, because they've spelled it so wrong, or maybe it's almost looks like a bad word that they put on there. I'm going to go with the name my parents called me, and I think I want to go with the names that God calls me. God shows us that our names, the other names others have given us, or the ones that we've taken on ourselves, are not the ones that He gives us. And what He gives us is so much more accurate, because He calls us His. He calls us beloved. Overcoming the fears and restraining the fears and kicking them out of the driver's seat is never easy. We need to kick them into the curb, though, because fears seem to cause spiritual amnesia, causing us to forget all that God has done and what He is doing and what He's making in our lives. And the things that we are believing cause us not to do the way He has intended us to do. He's making us believe and being afraid of what He can do, because we have disconnected from the history of God in our life. And when we know the history of God in our life, we begin to see how He has prepared a table before us in the presence of our enemies. And we begin to see that no weapon formed against us will prosper. I'm reminded of Psalms 121 when it says, I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. And if we are unplugged from the history of God, we will never begin to understand the mysteries of God. 2 Timothy 1:7 says, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. Or what about Isaiah 12:2, where it says, surely God is my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid. The Lord himself is my strength and my defense. He has become my salvation. Jesus is the light of the world, and we are just mirrors to reflect his love and his power. And what others use to bring fear into our life with is something God wants to use to build us up with. When others try to shatter the mirror God has made us to be, allow him to glue us back together so that we can be a disco ball that reflects his light in every direction. Proverbs 18:10, it says, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run to it and are safe. Your past does not define you. Don't answer to the names others give you. Only turn your head to the names that Jesus calls you. Those critics don't get the final word. Before creation, God called you by name. So it's time to change the name of the person that is driving your life. And maybe if we made Jesus our strong tower, we would find that the driver is much safer for us to have. Have a great day.